Good morning and warm welcome to this function. Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut, functioning under National Council of Science Museums, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, shoulders the leading role in propelling science dissemination activities in Kerala, especially in the Malabar region. Calicut, the capital of Malabar, right from the time of the Samarin dynasty, is now a fascinating place with unparalleled attractions including historic monuments, works of art and cultural contributions. The city attracts and accommodates visitors by outstretched red carpet of its enticing natural beauty. Situated in this land of distinct heritage, RSN Planetarium engages itself in dissemination of science through interactive exhibitions. This center was dedicated to the people on 30th January 1997 by late Sri E.K. Nayanar, then Chief Minister of Kerala. Today, we are celebrating the Silver Jubilee of Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut. Now I invite Sri Binoy Kumar Dubey, the curator and project coordinator of Regional Science Center and Planetarium, for the welcome address. Please, sir.
Good morning, eminent dignitaries, luminaries in the audience, our colleagues, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. While it is obvious to feel happy to deliver the welcome address, I'm also excited and feel blessed about this role. Today is an special and wonderful day as we gather virtually to celebrate our 25th founding anniversary day during this COVID-19 crisis. Today we stand at a turning point in history. This year, where the whole country is celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrita Mahotsav, it is a matter of pride that today is the Silver Jubilee Day of our center. In 25 years of time, the center has traveled a fairly long distance. On this auspicious day, I heartily welcome our chief guest, Honorable Minister for Public Works Department and Tourism, Government of Kerala, Sri P. A. Mohammad Riazji. Serving the society is foremost principle on his agenda. His vision and novel thinking have made a difference to the larger community for a greater good. I take the privilege to welcome Sri A.D. Chaudhary sir, Director General, National Council of Science Museum. His idea of building galleries, science center and museums have ushered in the several developments of immersive museums, science centers and interpretation center throughout India. Sir, we are honored to get you on this virtual platform and to preside this function. A knowledge temple such as this, the support and blessing of diverse dignitaries, the Science Centers deals it to be its privilege to have been supported by our guest of honor, Executive Director, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology and Chairman of Local Advisory Committee of Regional Science Center and Planetarium, Dr. M.P. Pillaiji. He has offered us the privilege of his presence, so we are happy that you are here, sir, on this virtual platform. Welcome, sir. The mandate given to this center was to inculcate and encourage scientific temper and attitude among the common population. That is in line with the Article 51 of our Constitution. I take the privilege to welcome Sri V.S. Ramchandran sir, Director, Birla Industrial and Technological Museum, who steered the Regional Science Center as a local guardian for about 20 years and excelled this center to set this height. Under his supervision, through a broad range of activity, this center has pioneered innovative ways to connect to people, build capacity in education, create inquiry-based hands-on experiences, advocate for a number of societal issues. Welcome, sir. I acquire a genuine welcome to Srimati K. Sarnas Madam, Director, Viseswaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, Bangalore, who has been an important guiding force for this center and this celebration. Madam, we are honored to get your advices, support and commitment to this center. Welcome, ma'am. Science Center always strive to celebrate the knowledge, He is an ardent orator and devoted curator who not just tried to make this center more potent for organizing various activity on frontier science, but also make a more diverse and inclusive environment in this center where all can contribute and thrive. I wish to extend my warm welcome to Mr. Manas Bakshi sir, former project coordinator and curator, Visvesvaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, Bangalore. Welcome, sir. I would like to extend our warm welcome to all who are present in this session, including former members, students, colleagues, media people, and to one and all associated with its development and journey so far. Thank you all.
Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. Now, may I request our chief guest, Sri Mohammad Riaz, Honorable Minister for Public Works and Tourism, Government of Kerala, for inaugurating the function by lighting the lamp virtually. May I request Sri A.D. Chaudhary, Director General, National Council of Science Museum, to light the lamp. Now I request Dr. M.P. Pillai, Executive Director, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, and also Chairman of Local Advisory Committee of Regional Science and Planetarium, to light the lamp. Now I request Sri V.S. Ramchandran, Director, Birla Industrial Technological Museums, Kolkata, to light the lamp. Now I request Srimati K.A. Sadhana, Director, Visvesvaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, Bangalore, to light the lamp. Now I request Sri Manaksh Bachi, Curator and VITM Bangalore and former project coordinator of Regional Science and Planetarium Calicut, to light the lamp. Now I request Sri Binoy Dubey, project coordinator of Regional Science and Planetarium Calicut, to light the lamp. Now I request Sri Jayant Gangopadhyay, technical officer of Regional Science and Planetarium, to light the lamp virtually. Thank you all. Visvesvaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, Bangalore, is the southern headquarters of National Council of Science Museums. Srimati K.A. Sadhana, Director of VITM, is always there to support and guide us in all our endeavors. I request her to kindly address the function.
Yeah, thank you, Sunil. Honorable Minister for Department of Public Works, Department and Tourism, Government of Kerala, Sri P.A. Mohammad Riaz, Dr. M.P. Pillai, Executive Director, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, Calicut, and LAC Chairman of RSC Calicut, Sri A.D. Chaudhary, Director General, National Council of Science Museums, Sri V.S. Ramachandran, Director, Birla Industrial and Technological Museum, Sri Binoy Kumar Dubey, Project Coordinator, RSC Calicut, my colleagues at RSC Calicut, Visvesvaraya Museum, National Council of Science Museums, students, teachers, participants, and friends. Good morning and a warm welcome to all of you for having joined this program. Nobody ever flunked a science museum. This is a quote from Frank Oppenheimer, the founder of Exploratorium, a public learning laboratory exploring the world through science, art, and human perception. Science museums are places where people can come together and explore the very mysteries that make up our world. In a science center, visitors have choices and can manipulate the exhibits and produce unique learning experiences. Science and technology museums have the power to inspire and educate millions of visitors every year. The Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut is one such science center which was opened on this day 25 years back in 1997 as part of the nationwide network of National Council of Science Museums for popularizing science and inculcating scientific temper among general public and students. The Science Center comes under the administrative control of Visvesvaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, the southern headquarters of National Council of Science Museums under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. The center, popularly known as Calicut Planetarium was the first planetarium in the Malabar region situated in the northern part of Kerala. Soon, the centre and planetarium became the most popular units under the council thanks to the overwhelming support of the local community. The centre houses galleries on fun science, mirror magic, ocean, astronomy, and a life science corner. The special attraction of the centre is the planetarium. It also has a sprawling science park to enthrall the visitors. Apart from this, the centre also operates a mobile science exhibition which travels into the interiors of Kerala, especially rural areas, for spreading the message of science. The centre receives about 6 lakh visitors annually and is immensely popular among the public and students in particular. Today marks the 25th anniversary of the Science Centre. As part of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the centre, in spite of the pandemic and restrictions associated with it, the team at RSC Calicut has put up an exhibition titled 25 Years of Service to the Society, along with compact science exhibits that have been developed in-house and will be on display at the Science Centre. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the officers and staff members of Regional Science Centre and Planetarium Calicut, both present and past, for their untiring service and dedication to the centre. Congratulations, Team RSC Calicut, for reaching this remarkable milestone. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your inspiring speech. Regional Science and Planetarium Calicut has designed and developed an exhibition highlighting the programs and activities organized last 25 years. Also, we have fabricated compact science exhibits based on school curriculum. Now, I request the Chief Guest, PM Mohammad Riaz, Honorable Minister, to inaugurate the exhibition by unveiling the curtain virtually. This is a physical exhibition and public can come to see the science center and view this exhibition. We have developed a film and a walkthrough movie on the Silver Jubilee exhibition. Now we'll have a view of the film.
Science has never been speechless. Like music, it's a global language. And as a language, it resonates in institutions and museums across the globe, actively engaging millions of people, communicating to a broader public, fascinated by the latest discoveries, inventions and speculations about new planets, galaxies, electricity, computers, genes and whatnot. Creating an informed population is a nation-building intervention. Regional Science Centre and Planetarium Calicut has been into it since 1997. Constructed in the ancient Kerala architectural style, the National Council of Science Museums has groomed it to the height of a major hub to disseminate popular science in northern Kerala. Over the past 25 years, it has been on the vanguard of science popularization and endures as a learning space in the Malabar region, invariably for the young and old. Regional Science Centre houses a planetarium, a 3D theatre, a science park, and 5 science galleries on various themes with attractive working models backed by cutting-edge technology. The star-studded sky has fascinated man from time immemorial. Modern science is ingeniously and extravagantly visual. The 220-seater hybrid planetarium housed here is the dominant attraction for everyone. You can venture into an immersive trip through the expanse of the cosmos and delve deep into its tantalizing mysteries. In the 3D theatre, visitors are exposed for around 20 minutes to the thrilling world of three-dimensional movies.
Love toasted olives.
In the fun science gallery and science park, you can see a plethora of exhibits to trigger your curiosity. What makes it simple to lift a car? Or beat your mighty friends in a tug of war? Take your time to explore the laws of motion, electromagnetism, transfer of momentum, and so forth. And endless excitement with fun demonstrations. Oceans are just an accumulation of waves when seen from outside, but they hold a different world of secrets inside. The Hall of Ocean provides a chance for you to witness them. The Hall of Astronomy portrays the developments in our understanding of the sky and heavenly objects, the gradual growth of astronomy through the ages. The Mirror Magic Gallery teams with interest-stimulating exhibits engaging mirrors that explain scientific principles involved in mirror optics. Discover the life of turtles and living things like fishes and birds of different sizes, the ecosystems they inhabit, and the processes they share at the Life Science Corner. The prehistoric park is a recreated world of the wonderful life that once lived on this earth millions of years ago, where you can look for your favorite dinosaurs. The Innovation Hub encourages students to perform experiments, articulate their own hypotheses, falsify them, revalidate them, and bring in more statistical models which will eventually benefit the society. Let your curiosity and creativity run wild and come up with answers to questions. One of the most important outreach programs is the Mobile Science Exhibition. Mounted on a specially designed bus, a mobile science exhibition carries a number of interactive exhibits on a specific theme related to school curriculum or everyday science. We try to encourage questions and explorations through an array of exhibits and demonstrations, sky observation programs, daytime astronomy, the liquid nitrogen shows, robotics, arts and craft workshops, science club, science theatre, summer hobby camps, lectures, and so on. On this occasion of the Silver Jubilee celebration, we have a mini exhibition embracing an overview of our illustrious journey, accompanied by a few compact exhibits fabricated during the pandemic days. The pandemic has altered the footfall of museums across the world. We have tried to digitally boost its bond with people across the state with a number of online initiatives. The latest number exceeds 86 lakhs over the span of 25 years. Learning is a lifelong process, and it needs to be joyful. Let your curiosity roam through this museum and uncover your wonder.
We have made this film within our limitations. I hope all of you have enjoyed this film. A virtual exhibition has also been developed, which is compatible with the web browser, smartphones, and head-mounted devices like Oculus and Vive. The link to access the virtual exhibition is https://lexevacations.co.rscp. Now let us have a view of this exhibition. Sri V.S. Ramachandran, Director of Birla Industrial and Technological Museum, Kolkata, who was the project coordinator of Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut for 2 decades, the 1998 to 2018. He played a major role in shaping the center. I request Sri V.S. Ramachandran to kindly address the gathering.
My dear colleagues, today's inaugurator, Sri Mohammad Riaz, and colleagues from RSC Calicut. I am extremely happy to join the meeting, and I would have been very happy to be physically present at Calicut on this golden or silver occasion. And due to pandemic, the entire world is now having a change, and we are having a lot of problems with the footfall. But I am looking back the history. I'm very, very happy to have 20 years of my learning experience at Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut. I remember on April 28, 1998, I joined Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut. I served there for 20 years. In fact, I am very lucky to serve for such a long time. And I am very happy to say that when I joined the center, the footfall was around 93,000. And when I left, it was around 6 lakh visitors. I'm very happy that we were able to do all these things only because of our colleagues at Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut. They did a tremendous job. They were hand in glove with me, and they supported me in all possible ways. I remember that we have developed 6 galleries, and I'm very happy to say that all the galleries are developed by the team of Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut, including the present Ocean Gallery, Astronomy Gallery, and we had a Human Endurance Gallery that was removed, and then we had gone for Ocean Gallery. And coming to the activities, I'm very happy to say that we had wonderful activities. Like, first we have taken the telescope to beach, and we started interacting with people, and then we popularized the center accordingly. and it gave us immense publicity. And we had I remember the role of Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut in disseminating science and eradicating superstition. One simple example I had to say, I am tempted to say that in the year 2001, when there was a solar eclipse, we went to beach with the 7 staff members and 3 telescopes. We saw only 3 people waiting for us to see the solar eclipse. But in the year 2007, when another solar eclipse was there, I am very happy to say that when we were just going in the vehicle, we saw thousands of people. And I was surprised that everybody was waiting for Regional Science Center and Planetary Calicut to see the solar eclipse. That is the level of impact of Regional Science Center and Planetary Calicut. Coming to the activities, I'm very happy to say that inclusive science, that is the slogan of National Council of Science Museum. We went to even forest. We brought Cholanayakans, the tribals, and some people who are living in the caves. This, I'm happy to say that some of them has come out of the forest for the first time. We have brought them for one full day. We have conducted a variety of activities, including sky observation program, planetarium, etc. And another interesting program, what we have done night-long sky observation program at Calicut Jail. The jail inmates were very nice and they cooperated so nicely. We conducted the entire program throughout the night and they learned a lot. We had a lot of other programs like, old age people, senior citizens people, and then even we had program for housewives, repairing household materials. And I'm very happy that I had a very wonderful experience at the beautiful state, which is called God's own country. And I can never forget the Calicut and the people of Calicut, the press people, the visual media, and the politicians of all parties, the authorities like mayor, collector, everybody was totally supporting Regional Science Center and Planetarium. In fact, they were appreciating Planetarium Calicut. And the main thing I had to say, the press and visual media supported us a lot. We are always in the news. And I thank all the colleagues of Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut for the wonderful support and working as a team. With these few words, I would like to conclude my talk. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words and golden memories. Your presence is always in RSC Calicut. Sri Manesh Bakshi, as the project coordinator for the center almost 3 years, and he sharpened our vision and goal towards enhancing the center with modern infrastructure holding deep concern for academic traits. May I request Sri Manesh Bakshi, Curator VATM and former project coordinator, to address the function.
Thank you very much, Sunilji, and my sincere regards to all the dignitaries present here. I have been incredibly fortunate to get the chance to work with you all and in this center for a significant period of time. But I feel that at this juncture, when we have reached an important milestone, it is not really the deja vu time where we say, I did that, I got that, and reached there. More than that, I think when we reach such milestones, we should actually say happy birthday, and at the same time, we should think and we should plan a vision. What should we do? Because celebrating the existence is one thing, but planning for the future existence is much more important at this point. That is what I feel. So if existence is the only important thing in the world, then fossils would have been the most respected elements of the world. I feel that is not the case. So what would be the future plan. Let me play a little bit of devil's advocate, because I feel more than celebrating the successes, we need to look at the failures, and we need to see what we wanted but could not do and what we should plan to do. I remember the 1962 lecture of John F. Kennedy in the Rice University, where he said that we plan to place a man on the moon before the turning of this decade. So similarly, I feel this is the time we get back to the drawing board and make a plan where we would like to go with this center and our future with a plan, because a great dream is not only just a dream, it is also coupled with a strategy to make it real. And this is the time that I think we should do it, and that is why we call it moonshot, because it's big. Sometimes when it is planned, the vision is dreamt of, we don't even know how to do it, but the strategy needs to be in place. I remember that in one exhibition called The Touchdown, we actually showed that single step to the moon required 10 million steps otherwise to reach up to that point. So I'd like to mention a few things about our future scheme of affairs, what we may think of. When India got its independence in 1947, it was a 12% literacy for the country. Now today it stands at 77.7%, and the male literacy in particular is 84%. What does it mean? To me, it is an eye opener in the sense that when we started our science center movements somewhere in 1950s in India, at that time the basics, the rudimentary, getting to the people, these were the focus areas, and they were extremely important. I'm not saying that they are not important now, but the people have changed, the aspirations have changed at the same time. So now we should understand that the basics of Newton's law, Ohm's law, and showing simulations of how a diode works, they are no longer the mainstream. Rather, we have to think of the nuanced new technologies, science, and scientific ideas and philosophies that are coming up. All over the world, the science centers are moving out of the ordinary. They are getting into the complexities. They are getting out of the deterministic world representations to the complexity view, to the statistical view, to the understanding why things are more connected and more related. Very recently, I had the fortune and the opportunity to work for the concept of one climate change gallery. And there we saw, when studying and researching the subject, how critical it can be. I would like to mention very briefly a few examples. For example, it is extremely important to understand that as the Arctic ices are melting, a new ship path is being created through the north itself. And the countries of the world, they are trying to establish their control over that route because it is commerce. New petroleum sources are being anticipated over there. So there's a military control over this whole thing. The countries like US, China, India, Japan, all are trying to establish their control over that route. New possibilities are being explored. Not only that, what we eat is extremely important to decide which way the country should, which way the world should move with respect to the climate change. In India, if we do not do anything, and if we still do not make a transition of the energy basket, then in another 20 years, we will become the biggest burden for the world. India has got an advantage that in India, the fossil fuel usage is still very limited because the energy usage is limited to a large extent. So we need to plan immediately. Since we have not got deep into it, we have a chance of converting everything to the renewable forms. But are we in a position to transition all our autos and smaller vehicles on the road to get to some form of renewable energy, to get to use some form of renewable energy? Are we in a position to transition our railways completely to some form of renewable energy? If we can do that, then we will be the future of the world. If we can't, then we are going to be a big problem, not only for ourselves, but also for the world. And these are the details, the AI, the brain, the new psychology, the admixture of sociology into scientific presentations, the vying for equity. These are the areas where I think that the Science Center of the new era must get into. The equity, rationality, and answerability must be brought in. And while doing so, I remember a situation when I was asked in one of our training sessions when I joined as curator by one of our former director generals. He asked us, what is the most important object in your science center? I gave him a rather peculiar answer, perhaps, and I would still like to repeat once again that thing only, that I always feel that I am the most important object of my science center, because when people interact with me, I am the museum for them. If I am good enough, they think that the museum is good enough. If I am a failure, then they consider the museum to be a failure. So as the museum professionals, I think this is the time when you should be extremely careful about our presentations, about our thoughts, about our ways, how we present our museum to them. And finally, yes, a lot have been talked about the people in Calicut. I experienced wonderful people over there, and I will never say that I was supported. Rather, I was meant to support all of them. The people in Calicut, they fortunately accepted me as one of them, so I got this opportunity to work with them. And I feel that this is an essence of the futuristic science centers, not only science centers, any institution perhaps, where it has to be based on empathy, it has to be based on humility. We must work on the same platform, and beyond the normal administrative requirements, I feel that the strict steep hierarchy should be completely demolished. Rather than the rule-based policies, we need to get to the empathy-based policies. We must accept arguments. We must accept extreme oppositions, and yet the whole conglomeration, yet the whole discourse must end with hugs and high fives rather than any animosities. We need to develop our skill sets and be careful to get it through to the new age, to the new era. And if we can't do that, then probably we will not be able to see another 25th birthday on the line, because it is extremely critical to keep these organizations alive with its current glory. We are not in good times. There are many challenges. We must live up to it. Thank you very much for calling. Thanks all.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening speech. Now it is the time for the address by Chief Guest. May I invite Sri P.M. Mohammad Riaz, Honorable Minister for Public Works and Tourism, Government of Kerala, to deliver the inaugural address.
കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം രജത ജൂബിലിയിലേക്ക് കടന്നിരിക്കുകയാണ്. 25 വർഷങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പേ, അതായത് 1997 ഒരു ജനുവരി മാസം, അന്നത്തെ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയായിരുന്ന സഖാവ് ഇ കെ നായനാരാണ് കോഴിക്കോട് റീജിയണൽ സയൻസ് സെൻറ്റർ ആൻഡ് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം ജനങ്ങൾക്കായി തുറന്നു കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. കഴിഞ്ഞ 2.5 പതിറ്റാണ്ടുകളായി മലബാർ മേഖലയിലെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളും മുതിർന്നവരുമായ ശാസ്ത്രസ്നേഹികളുടെ അഭിരുചികൾ വളർത്തിയെടുക്കുവാനും ശാസ്ത്രീയമായ അന്വേഷണങ്ങൾക്ക് വഴി കാണിക്കുവാനും പ്രതിജ്ഞാബദ്ധമായി നിലനിൽക്കുകയാണ് ഈ സ്ഥാപനം. അനേകം വിസ്മയ കാഴ്ചകളും സയൻസ് പ്രൊജക്റ്റുകളും സയൻസ് സെൻറ്റർ, സയൻസ് പാർക്ക്, പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം, 3D തിയേറ്റർ പരീക്ഷണങ്ങളുമൊക്കെയായി കോഴിക്കോട് നഗരഹൃദയത്തിൽ സയൻസിൻ്റെ ഭാഷയിൽ പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ഗാലക്സിയാണ് ഈ പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം. കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാരിൻ്റെ സാംസ്കാരിക വകുപ്പിന് കീഴിലുള്ള നാഷണൽ കൗൺസിൽ ഓഫ് സയൻസ് മ്യൂസിയത്തിന് കീഴിലായാണ് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നത്. പ്രവർത്തനം തുടങ്ങിയ ആദ്യ വർഷം 1,00,000-ൽ താഴെ മാത്രം സന്ദർശകരാണ് ഇവിടെ എത്തിയത്. എന്നാൽ കൂട്ടായ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളുടെ ഫലമായി പിന്നീടുള്ള വർഷങ്ങളിൽ അത് 6 ലക്ഷം സന്ദർശകരായി ഉയർന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് വസ്തുത. ഈ നൂറ്റാണ്ട് കാലം ഏതാണ്ട് 87 ലക്ഷം പേരാണ് കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം സന്ദർശിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത് എന്നുള്ളത് നാം ഓർക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. മലബാറിലെയും കേരളത്തിൽ തന്നെയും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട സയൻസ് എക്സിബിഷൻ ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റഡി സെൻ്ററായി വളരുവാൻ ഈ കാലയളവിൽ കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയത്തിന് സാധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ശാസ്ത്ര വിവരസാങ്കേതിക രംഗത്ത് വമ്പിച്ച കുതിച്ചുചാട്ടങ്ങൾ നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാലത്തിലൂടെയാണ് ഞാനും നിങ്ങളും പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. ബഹിരാകാശ രംഗത്ത് സമാനതകളില്ലാത്ത പുരോഗതിയിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. ലോകം സ്പേസ് ടൂറിസം അടക്കമുള്ള വലിയ വിപ്ലവകരമായ മാറ്റങ്ങൾ കാഴ്ചവെക്കുന്ന ഈ വേളയിൽ നമ്മുടെ നാടിനെയും അത്തരം മാറ്റങ്ങൾക്ക് സജ്ജമാക്കുവാനുള്ള ഉത്തരവാദിത്വവും അവസരവും പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം, സയൻസ് പാർക്ക് പോലുള്ള ഇത്തരം സ്ഥാപനങ്ങൾക്കുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് ഞാനിവിടെ പ്രത്യേകം സൂചിപ്പിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇന്ത്യൻ ജനതയിൽ ശാസ്ത്രബോധം വളർത്തുവാനുള്ള ശ്രമത്തിൽ നാം ഇനിയുമേറെ മുന്നേറുവാനുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഒരു വസ്തുത. ശാസ്ത്രവും സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യയും ഏറെ ഉയരത്തിലെത്തിയ കാലത്ത് ശാസ്ത്രമാണ് ജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ വഴികാട്ടിയാകേണ്ടത് എന്ന തിരിച്ചറിവിന് സമൂഹത്തിലാകെ തീർച്ചയായും ഒരു അവബോധം ഉണ്ടാകേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. വ്യക്തിയും സമൂഹവും രാഷ്ട്രവും നേരിടുന്ന പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ പരിഹരിക്കുന്നതിൽ ശാസ്ത്രത്തിൻ്റെ രീതിയാണ് ഉത്തമമെന്ന ബോധ്യം എല്ലാ തലത്തിലും ഉണ്ടാകേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. ശാസ്ത്ര വിദ്യാഭ്യാസം നേടിയവർ പോലും അന്ധവിശ്വാസങ്ങളുടെയും കപടശാസ്ത്രങ്ങളുടെയും പ്രചാരകരാകുന്ന ഈ കാലത്ത് ഇത് ഏറെ പ്രസക്തമായൊരു കാര്യമാണ്. അന്ധവിശ്വാസത്തിലും അനാചാരങ്ങളിലും ബന്ധിതമായിരുന്ന സമൂഹം സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിന് ശേഷം ഏറെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോയത് ശാസ്ത്രബോധം വളർത്തുന്നതിൽ നടത്തിയ ബോധപൂർവമായ ഇടപെടലുകൾ കൂടി കാരണമായിട്ടാണ് എന്നുള്ളത് നാം മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. രാജ്യത്തെ അഭിവൃദ്ധിയിലേക്ക് നയിക്കുവാൻ ശാസ്ത്രീയമായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥാപനങ്ങൾ കാരണക്കാരായി എന്നതാണ് ആധുനിക ഇന്ത്യയുടെ ചരിത്രം വ്യക്തമാക്കുന്നത്. ഭരണഘടന വിഭാവനം ചെയ്യുന്ന ശാസ്ത്രബോധം ഇന്ത്യയിൽ വളർന്നോ എന്ന് നമ്മൾ സ്വയം ചോദിക്കേണ്ട ചോദ്യമാണ്. മിത്തുകളും കെട്ടുകഥകളും ചരിത്രമായി വ്യാഖ്യാനിക്കുന്നവരെ ശാസ്ത്ര ഗവേഷണ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളുടെ തലപ്പത്ത് പ്രതിഷ്ഠിക്കുന്ന അവസ്ഥ വരെ നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തുണ്ട്. ദൗർഭാഗ്യകരമാണ്. വിശ്വാസങ്ങൾ ശാസ്ത്രമാണെന്ന് സ്ഥാപിക്കുവാനുള്ള ഗവേഷണ പദ്ധതികൾ പ്രഖ്യാപിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിൽ ശാസ്ത്രബോധത്തെ വെല്ലുവിളിക്കുന്ന അപകടകരമായ അനാസ്ഥയാണ് പലപ്പോഴും നമുക്ക് ചുറ്റുമുള്ളത് എന്നുള്ളതും നാം ഏറെ ചർച്ച ചെയ്യുന്നൊരു കാര്യമാണ്. വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിൻ്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ ഏറെ മുന്നോട്ട് പോയെങ്കിലും അശാസ്ത്രീയ പ്രവണതകളും അന്ധവിശ്വാസങ്ങളും അനാചാരങ്ങളും നമുക്ക് ചുറ്റും ശക്തിപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ലോകത്തെയാകെ ഗ്രസിച്ച മഹാമാരിയുടെ നടുവിലാണ് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ. ഇതിനു മുൻപും മഹാമാരികൾ ഭൂമിയിൽ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്നാൽ ആ കാലത്തിൽ നിന്നും വ്യത്യസ്തമായി ഇന്ന് ശാസ്ത്രത്തിൻ്റെ വളർച്ചയിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് ഇത്തരം മഹാമാരികളെ വേഗത്തിൽ തിരിച്ചറിയുവാനും പ്രതിരോധ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ ഊർജിതമാക്കുവാനും സാധിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്ന് നാം ഓർക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. അത്തരമൊരു കാലത്താണ് ശാസ്ത്രബോധം വളർത്തുവാൻ പരമപ്രധാനമായ കർത്തവ്യമായി ഏറ്റെടുക്കണമെന്നുള്ള ചിന്ത നമ്മളിൽ പടർത്തേണ്ടത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ കേവലം സയൻസ് പാർക്ക് എന്നതിൽ നിന്ന് മാറി കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം കൂടുതൽ ആകർഷണീയവും ഇന്നോവേറ്റീവുമായ പുതിയ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളുമായി വിപുലപ്പെടുന്ന വിവരം ഏറെ സന്തോഷം നൽകുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഫൺ സയൻസ് ഗാലറി, പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം, സയൻസ് പാർക്ക്, ലൈഫ് സയൻസ്, മിറർ മാജിക് ഗാലറി, ഹാൾ ഓഫ് ആസ്ട്രോണമി, കിഡ്സ് പ്ലേ ഏരിയ, കളിവീട് എന്നിങ്ങനെ വിപുലമായ ശാസ്ത്ര വിഷയങ്ങളും കാഴ്ചകളുമായി പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയം വികസിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. വൈജ്ഞാനിക ടൂറിസം അഥവാ നോളജ് ടൂറിസം എന്ന ആധുനിക മേഖലയിലേക്ക് കൂടി വികസിപ്പിക്കുവാനുള്ള സാധ്യതകൾ നമുക്ക് കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയത്തിൽ ശ്രമിക്കേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ശാസ്ത്രവിജ്ഞാനങ്ങളെ വിനോദത്തിലേക്ക് സന്നിവിശേഷിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അറിവിലൂടെ വിനോദം പകരുവാനുള്ള ശ്രമങ്ങൾക്ക് ടൂറിസം ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെയും എല്ലാ നിലയിലുമുള്ള പിന്തുണ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കുമെന്നുള്ളത് ഞാനിവിടെ പ്രത്യേകം അറിയിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. ശാസ്ത്ര അഭിരുചികളും ശാസ്ത്രീയ മനോഭാവവും ഏറ്റവും അത്യന്താപേക്ഷിതമായ വർത്തമാനകാലത്ത് ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക അന്വേഷണങ്ങളുടെ പുതിയ വാതായനങ്ങൾ തുറക്കുവാൻ രജത ജൂബിലി ആഘോഷിക്കുന്ന കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയത്തിന് സാധിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. കോഴിക്കോട് പ്ലാനറ്റോറിയത്തിൻ്റെ എക്സിബിഷൻ, രജത ജൂബിലി ആഘോഷങ്ങളുടെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് കൂടിയുള്ള എക്സിബിഷൻ സന്തോഷപൂർവ്വം ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്തതായി അറിയിക്കുക.
Thank you so much for your accepting our invitation, sir. Sri A.D. Chaudhary, Director General of National Council of Science Museum, heading the largest network of science museum in the world. May I request Sri A.D. Chaudhary, Director General, National Council of Science Museum, to kindly deliver the presidential address.
Sir, you are, please unmute the mic.
Namaskar. Honorable Minister for Public Works and Tourism, Government of Kerala, Sri P.A. Mohammad Riazji, Dr. M.P. Pillai, Chairman of the Local Advisory Committee of the Regional Science Center and Planetarium, and the Executive Director of the National Institute of Electronics and IT, former Director of the Project Coordinator of the Center, C.V.S. Ramchandran, who is presently my colleague director at the Birla Industrial and Technological Museum, Kolkata, Swati K. Sadhna, Director of Visheshwaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, under whom the center performs. My colleague Sri Manas Bagchi, who was the former project coordinator of the center and presently posted at Visheshwaraya Industrial and Technological Museum, Bangalore, and Sri Binoy Dubey, project coordinator, who was working with me here in Kolkata. My dear colleagues of the Science Center at Calicut, and members from the print and electronic media. It is indeed a great moment for all of us as we celebrate the Silver Jubilee of the Regional Science Center and Planetarium at Calicut. I would just like to say something very unique which we have observed about this Science Center. Normally, we, as museums, do not think that museums really change people or museum can make a big change in the community. But what we have seen at RSC Calicut is something which has inspired all of us, and we are still not been able to reach in all other science centers other than RSC Calicut. The immense, I would say, belongingness which we see from the people, local people there. Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut has brought about this change in front of our eyes. Unlike the belief that museums can museums change the community, can museums make a real impact in the life of their community? This popular perception, which we perhaps do not think museums can do, has been, I would say, that whole perception has been proved wrong. It is the enthusiasm of the local people which has taken the Science Center to greater heights in the years. In 1997, when it was opened on this day, exactly 25 years back. It was, I would say, it started with the same enthusiasm. When the Science Center started, before that it happened, some local enthusiasts had purchased a planetarium equipment. The equipment was lying in a store, go down for quite some time. They were unable to mobilize enough funds to create an infrastructure to install this equipment. And that is how they reached to the state government, and the state government subsequently reached out to NCSM. And then the former Director General, Dr. Saroj Ghosh, took the decision to build a science center there jointly with the state government. And along with the science center came the planetarium, and this equipment was installed. Incidentally, that was the time I was at the Raman Science Center in Nagpur, and we were setting up a planetarium there also. Both these planetariums were opened almost concurrently, and it was the same team from Zeiss who came to install first at Nagpur and then at ISC Calicut. So the enthusiasm that we saw from the local people to have a planetarium, that sowed the seeds for setting up of a science center. And that is how this enthusiasm continued. As my colleague Ramchandran has just said, and same with Mr. Manas Bakchi. Unlike the other science centers, what we have seen here is the local people have considered that as their own, and we are basically trying to help them come up with new ways of presenting science. We are trying to build activities which the local people are keen to witness or participate, and that is how the center has become, I would say, a part of the local community. It's a pride for the local community. It's our pride that the Science Center and the planetarium has reached out to the local people for which it has been built. There have been instances when the local auto rickshaw owners and the people who drive them, they became the ambassadors of the Science Center. They brought in people from all over the city and adjoining places. And these are some memories which you cannot forget. You will always remember those. As Mr. Ramchandran was saying, when the sky observation program was taken outside the campus to the sea beach, we have seen tremendous response from the people. And I think that enthusiasm continues even today, and people have taken a lot of interest in our activities. The positioning of an institute as a science center sometimes brings a kind of alienation among the group of people. They tend to think that science is not for us. But I'm so happy to see that innovative program around the year, which my colleagues, along with the support from the local communities, have been able to arrange. They have been able to engage different groups of people, and we have seen different segments of the population coming there for different types of activities. And this is something which is very unique. We have seen instances where special programs have been organized for transgender people. So we have been able to be more inclusive. And that has happened only because of the enthusiasm that my colleagues have shown there and organizing different events. Over the last 25 years, our commitment to the people did not change. Unfortunately, what happened was sometime in 2018, we had put up a proposal for modernizing the Science Center. We had sent it to our ministry. And unfortunately, just after we submitted this elaborate plan, we were hit very hard by the COVID pandemic. As a result, even though we had a Vision 25 to make more facilities available today for all the local people, we defaulted it due to our unprecedented invisible arbitrator. Not only our budget allocations got drastically cut, our revenues also dwindled. And as of now, we are still following up with our ministry. Our ministry has also recommended to the Ministry of Tourism to fund part of the development and modernization activities of the Regional Science Center and Planetarium. I'm very hopeful that we will get some approval very soon and we'll be able to take up modernizing of our galleries, modernizing the facilities so that it fulfills the basic requirement for which it has been installed and has been developed. I would also make a special request here. I have already mentioned that this center now has to cater to highly educated, sophisticated, and aspiring community. Initially, when we started, we were focusing more on the students, but as we have seen, this science center brings people from all across the society, all segments of the society, and for creating a commensurate facility demands that we not only expand vertically, we also need to expand horizontally. I request the Honorable Minister if he could be given some additional land adjacent to our campus so that we can also explore possibilities of creating new facilities in the years to come. We'll be also striving hard to ensure that the planetarium, which was built way back in 1997 and was partly digitized around 7-8 years back, can be modernized further with new technologies, new equipment, which will, I'm sure, local populace would be very keen to see this upgradation happen very soon. Our efforts will continue. I would also like to acknowledge here that Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut was one of the first two centers in NCSM to respond strongly towards the abnormal situation of lockdown. Due to this unprecedented lockdown, all our activities were stalled. People were not able to come to our science centers, but the way the entire team of the Regional Science Center and Planetarium reacted to this, the way they came up with innovative ways to go online and do extensive activities of diverse nature, meet the needs of the people, the expectations of the people. I think that is something we all need to congratulate the entire team for. The trend that they appreciated was adopted by many other science centers later on. And this elaborate engagement with the people through online programs continues even today. And what we observe that we have a huge number of people taking part in our activities. While the center was open for the people, for the visitors, or even when the center will again open for the visitors, we'll be restricting our activities mainly for the local people and for the tourists or people from nearby places. These online activities will continue to cater for the people from across the country and the world, and we have seen people from across the country, even from neighboring countries, participating in all our online activities. This is a huge encouragement for all of us, a new avenue, a new vista that we have successfully implemented. And I'm sure my colleagues at the Science Center will continue to do that in the years to come. We all know that knowledge can carry us forward and technology will advance in ways that will continue to change our lives. The Regional Science Center and Planetarium Calicut will also strive to ensure that come up with new ways of presenting science, the cutting edge science and technology, which is important for growth and prosperity of our country as a whole. Our work has progressed and our surroundings have changed over the last 10 years, but our purpose remains the same: to cultivate a science-aware society and inspire generations of science, technology, engineering, and maths talent, carry forward our culture of innovation. We do not have to be a scientist to enjoy a planetarium and science center. We are here to open the doors of science to every visitor in an approachable, accessible, and welcoming way, expanding the role in scientific and technological discovery through increased knowledge, better decision making, and even a future career of our citizen is at the very core of our mission. And we will continue to do that in the years to come. One of the very special things about science centers is the in-person sharing of joyful learning experiences with friends, family members, and even people we haven't met before. In a digital world, these moments easily fall by the wayside, so people gravitate to the isolation of individualized social media. And we offer our fair share of digitally enabled experiences. Tangible hands-on interactions are important elements of our strategy to provide fun, interesting, and educational experiences. We will continue to strive to do that in the years to come. We try to come up with new ways of presenting science and make it more engrossing and more beneficial for the society. Before I end, I'd also like to thank all the past director generals, past and present directors, the project coordinators, my curator colleagues, the educators, master technicians, the support staff, and the members of the local advisory committees who have worked together and extended unstinted support and contribution for taking the center to where it is today. Unlike many of other science centers, this science center, as I said, has been very, very successful in reaching out to the community. And it is definitely a two-way process which enabled the center to be positioned what it is today. I'm sure in the days to come, my colleagues at the Science Center and Planetarium in Calicut will continue to work together, join hands with the local community, and come up with innovative ways of making science to people, making science learning enjoyable, exciting, and I'm sure we'll all join hands to take it to greater heights in the days to come. I once again congratulate all my colleagues at the Regional Science Center, Calicut, and for being a team which worked together, take it to this position which is holds today. And I'm sure in the days to come, you all will continue to work hard in your best foot forward, take the center to greater height days to come. Thank you all. I wish all my colleagues the very best in the days to come.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Dr. M.P. Pillai, Executive Director, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, Calicut, and also he is the Chairman of Local Advisory Committee of Regional Science and Planetarium. He's always with us for guiding. So now I request Dr. M.P. Pillai to address this function.
Thanks, Mr. Sunil. Honorable Shri Muhammad Riaz, Minister of Public Works and Tourism, Government of Kerala, also the chief guest of today's function. Sri A.D. Saudri Ji, DG, National Council of Museums. Sri Ramachandran, Director, Birla Industrial and Technical Museum, Kolkata. Srimad Sadhana and Mr. Manas Bakshi, VITM, Bangalore. Mr. Binay Kumar, RSC Calicut, other officials, invitees, and participants. Good morning to all. Indeed, it's a proud privilege for me to be the chief guest on the great occasion of Regional Science Center Calicut. At the outset, my congratulations to the entire team of Regional Science Center at Calicut. But I am fortunate to get associated with this center for the last 8 years. The time I shifted to Calicut, I have been involved with various activities as a curious visitor to now the chairman of local advisory committee. I would confidently say this is one of the well-maintained and best regional center in the country. Whenever I visit center, of course, I love to visit whenever I get an opportunity. I am amazed to see a lot of progress, whether it's maintaining the galleries or display of new exhibits or 3D shows and innovative programs. They are also very good in maintaining public relations and continued their interactions with all the state government and local authorities. In spite of space constraints and other resources, the center is continued to be one of the most preferred location in the city for all visitors of all ages, in fact. This is evident from the number of visitors annually, which is highlighted by many of the speakers. In fact, pre-COVID period, they have recorded an average 5 lakh plus visitors annually. That means nearly they have handled 1,500 visitors per day. It's not an easy task to manage such a huge visitors on daily basis. Also to attract huge visitors. Maybe it's possible in Bangalore, like Mumbai or Calcutta, like cities where huge population is there. The limited population in Calicut, it's a great achievement. And they manage everything in such a small campus with limited facilities. This is all possible, I feel, that only because of the dedication and involvement of the staff, particularly the contribution made by the then director, Mr. Ramachandran. He has spent a span of 2 decades in this. And along with his stalwarts, I would mention the name of Mr. Jayant Kankuli here and Mr. Sunil, the educational officer. And they should be properly acknowledged on these occasions. And the reputation of this center is basically because of the contribution of all these officers and the support that they received from the National Council of Museum and the teamwork. As a local advisory committee, we have only limited job to play. In fact, whatever proposal we go with, and they already suggest many new things, including the awareness of technologies like IoT, artificial intelligence, data analytics. In some new fourth industrial revolution areas, awareness, they have taken lead in the city, in fact, even before National Institute or NIT launches such programs. I understand they have planned many events in connection with the Silver Jubilee, like any program they do it with a great planning. But unfortunately, due to the COVID restrictions, they may not be able to implement all the events which they have planned. However, I hope the center will be able to implement some of the events through virtual or other innovative modes. I just wanted to say something about the recent what changing. See, that information electronics and communication technologies have brought revolutionary changes in all walks of life, which we were never even dreamed of. Once we stand in a brink of technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, learn, work, and relate to one another. Once this 5G communication network, it's all started, the government has started implemented. Once it is fully implemented, there will be a challenging task for many people to change their activities. And making people physically present also going to be a great challenge. Every possible activity may go on virtual mode. So also our new generation is more fond of virtual activities. Planetarium and the science centers are also no exemption to this. Sorry. Hence, it's going to be a big challenge to the policymakers, management, and implementers of science centers and museums in future. The changes are anyway inevitable. Get ready for the same. But I strongly believe face-to-face interactions are necessary for effective sharing of knowledge and creating curiosity and cultivate innovation, at least for children. I hope with such innovative and dedicated staff with vision and support from Indian Council of Museum and Ministry of Culture, Regional Science Center Calicut will face all challenges and continue to be best in all aspects. With this, once again, I congratulate all the stakeholders and wish Regional Science Center Calicut a grand success in all their endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're looking forward to your support in future also. As part of our Silver Jubilee celebration, Regional Science and Planetarium Calicut conducted a Malabar Region Science Quiz for high school students. Schools from 5 districts, that is Kasaragod, Kannur, Kozhikode, Malappuram, and Wayanad participated. In the preliminary round, 56 schools comprising 112 students participated. 5 teams were selected to the final round. From the final, we have selected 3 best teams. Now it is the time for distribution of certificates to the winners. So I am declaring the winners' name. The first prize winners are Varada RS and Nivedya KP, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Perunduruthi, Kozhikode district. Please switch on your camera. The students who are present here may please switch on their camera. I request Sri A.D. Chowdhury, Director General, National Council of Science Museum, to give the certificate to the first prize winners. Candidates, just please switch on your camera, Nivedya and Varada.
Try Varada.
Okay. Varada and Nivedya KP.
Thank you, sir.
And second prize winners are Sheetal S. and Sanjana Dinagar Barike, BM Higher Secondary School, Kasargod. Sheetal S. and Sanjana Dinagar Barike. I request Srimati K.A. Sadhana, Director, Visvesvaraya Industry and Technology Museum, Bangalore, to give the certificate.
Yeah, congratulations to the winners. Well done.
Third prize is shared by two teams, Devika S. and Anavadya Rajesh, NSS Higher Secondary School, Alakot, from Kannur district, and Ahalya Krishna and Shreya Babu, Government Vocational Higher Secondary School, Kalpata. I request Dr. M.P. Pillai, Executive Director, to present the certificate.
Congrats.
Next is the distribution of memento. I request Director General NCSM to present a memento to PM Muhammad Riaz, Honorable Minister for Public Works and Tourism, Government of Kerala. I request Srimati K.A. Sadhana, Director, Visvesvaraya and Industry and Technology Museum, Bangalore, to present a memento to Dr. M.P. Pillai, Executive Director, Neelit, and Chairman of RFP Local Advisory Committee.
Yeah, we are extremely thankful to you, sir, for having spared your time and shared your thoughts on this momentous occasion. So we are presenting a digital memento. Mr. Binoy, can you share the digital memento?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm trying.
Yeah, here it is. Thank you so much, sir.
Now we are reaching the end of this function. Now I request Sri J.N. Gangopadhyay, Technical Officer, Regional Science and Planetarium, Calicut, to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to all. Quoting Cicero, gratitude is not only the greatest virtue, but the parent of all the others. Now we come to the end of this August gathering towards celebration of the silver jubilee of our center. Prior to winding it up, a few words of warmth to all. On behalf of the organization, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Sri P.A. Muhammad Riaz, Honorable Minister of Public Works Department and Tourism, Government of Kerala. So your thoughts have truly inspired us. A special thanks to Sri A.D. Chowdhury, Director General, National Council of Science Museum, for accepting our invitations and for being with us here today. Sir, your support has always been for our center and a source for inspiration for all of our endeavors. It's a privilege to thank Dr. M.P. Pillai, Chairman of our center's Local Advisory Committee and Executive Director of NILIT, Calicut. You are a friend, philosopher, and guide for the last so many years. Whether it is a scientific conference or an innovation festival, or as a chairperson for the expert committee for our innovation hub, you are always with us and supported us in all possible ways. A big thank you. Now I am fixed as to how to thank a person who is so intimate to our center. From a situation in mid-90s, when if we asked an auto driver to drop us to planetarium, they would confuse it with sanatorium. And today, if somebody posts a letter saying only Planetarium Calicut, it reaches us. No pin code, no street name is required. Today, Science Center and planetariums named to all the educational institutions ranging from junior school to college, to universities, engineering and management institutes. Today's students consider it a privilege to carry out their academic projects from this center. Today we are popular. Yes, Sir V.S. Ramchandran, Director, Birla Industrial and Technological Museum, Kolkata, and he was heading this center from 1998 to 2018. Sir, I am in loss of words to thank you. Thank you so much. A very special thanks to Srimati K. A. Sadhana, Director, VITM, Bangalore, for her unconditional support for this center. At a juncture when fund crunch is haunting all quarters of our council, she without a second thought generously granted funds and rendered support for our Silver Jubilee celebration in particular and all activities of our center in general. Her vision has resulted in development of the anniversary special exhibition and documentary film which was screened today. Madam, a big thank you to you. Universal friend by nature is friendly. It's all horizontal and no vertical coordination. Sri Manas Bakshi, who was the curator and project coordinator for around 3 years, has steered our center during the tough time of pandemic. Highly informal in style and dealings and scholarly, academic and ever enthusiastic, scaled our center towards international recognition by IUPAC. Thank you so much, sir. A special thanks to Sri Madan Gopal K, who was the first project coordinator of this center from 1990 to 1998 and later served as director of VITM Bangalore. Sir, you have set the ball rolling, which later gained momentum. Thank you so much for all your efforts and initiative in the initial phases of this center. At this juncture, I shall thank all the former Director Generals, Dr. Saroj Ghosh, Dr. Indit Kumar Mukherjee, Sri A.S. Manekar, and Sri G.S. Rautella, and all our past DGGs, and especially late Sri R.M. Chakravarti, and former and present directors, particularly Sri S.N. Kemed, curator, officers, and officials of NCSM who supported RSCP Calicut in its journey for the past 25 years. An event of this dimension can't happen overnight and needs tremendous meticulous planning, execution, and an eye for details. Fresh impetus, new perception, and innovative thinking are a must towards removing the shackles of monotony. Whether it is developing an anniversary exhibition to its finest detail or making an anniversary special movie or a virtual walkthrough through, Sri Binoy Kumar Dubey, a young and dynamic curator and project coordinator of the center, is full of energy and new ideas. Thank you so much for your effort and leadership. I am very much thankful to the entire press and audio visual media who supported our center in all possible ways. The image of the center in public psyche is fully owed due to them. Further, big thank to my colleague Sri Sunil KM, Education Officer, who took a lot of efforts towards anchoring of today's program. And also we are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very dedicated and motivated team of our center who leaves no stones unturned to bring laurels and goodwill to our center. I thank the officers and all the staff members, trainees, securities, conservancy staff of the center for their effort. Finally, I would like to thank all our audience who are present here for making time to be with us today and helping us to make this event a grand success. Thanks, thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Jay. The whole of NCSM is working as a single family and each center is not an entity. Our collective efforts are required to gain momentum to reach our common goal, that is popularizing science. We expect the support of one and all. Our next is group photo session. We request all the participants to switch on the camera.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you once again all for support. Thank you.